Hola! Oh my goodness, folks. Holy cow. Good evening, one and all, on this Tuesday night. Thank God they are in custody. Oh man. Someone asked me, I am more, look at this zero. That's what a zero looks like. Folks, share that you are watching. It is so terrible what happened. But finally, Carbuncle Pond. They have great. Thank you, Roberta. Folks, good evening, one and all. Holy cow. Wait till I tell everybody. Look at this zero. Folks, I want you to look at the timestamp here. March 2nd. March 2nd. That's how long I have known about this goon. This absolute zero, who they brutally killed. I feel so terrible for her friends. Leela, who was killed. This is the Carbuncle Pond story. Now, folks, when we everybody get in, then I'm going to tell you and explain again. Good evening, everybody. I'm a little high, meaning camera's a little high. Can we bring it down just a little bit? Just a little bit. I think the audio is fine. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Can I go down like that? No? All right. It's fine. No, actually, it's totally fine. Okay. Let's leave it like that. You know what? I can sit up a little bit. There we go. Oh, my God. Folks, good evening, everybody. Now, holy cow. Now I can tell everyone what we have been dealing with. This was a tough one. Wait till you hear this. I want to thank Roberta Farrell, David, everyone with Team Juan. Whew. No one, I am so relieved, but it's not over as of yet, but we're certainly, wow, this is a big one on Carbuncle Pond. And I'm going to give you some details tonight that obviously no one else has, right, except the chosen one. Hi there, there's Ray Kelly. Ray, you're going to like this. There's Tammy, and there's Gary and everybody on what is actually a very comfortable Tuesday night. Now, if should something happen, we're obviously, right, like ready to roll. But if you know anyone in Coventry, you could certainly tell them that they could tune in a little bit. You know what, can I, hold on one moment. It's a little, there we go. All right, I think that's better. Right? Yeah, there I am. There's Juan. All right, we just make the picture a little bit bigger. Hi there, Cynthia. Deb Howard. All right, folks, now, 121. Share that you are watching. Now, I can tell you why we ended last night. Hi there, Michaela. Hi there, Richard DeLuca. Why we ended early last night is because one of the people that I've been working with the Carbuncle Pond called me in a panic, saying they're arresting them. And again, if you remember, I was live last night. For those just tuning in tonight, I'm going to talk you about Carbuncle Pond. Hi there, Tammy Graziano. There's Michelle. Good. Michelle, type in anyone's name in Coventry, and we're going to repeat a little bit. But you're going to hear details. I mean, I know a lot. I couldn't say things because of the investigation. I'm going to tell you some things right now that nobody knows. But this is definitely, many times... Oh, damn it. Am I freezing a little bit? Or is it just my phone? Is it freezing? You've got to be kidding me. Don't tell me it's frozen. Is it frozen? Oh, there we go. Okay. It is. I hope it's not freezing. Meaning that the picture is freezing a little bit. I'll wait for Roberta. I think it is. Oh my God, it's fine, says Roberta. All right, we'll continue then. Oh my God, I'm getting thrown out of my groove. All right, so last night, Roberta will tell me if whatever reason it's freezing. I mean, it could just be my, connection. So good, thank you, Roberta. Folks, thumbs up for Roberta Farrell. Thank you for the stars tonight, folks. Wait till you hear this story. So last night, those that were tuned in, we're right in the middle of getting the play-by-play of the armed manhunt that went on in in Warwick, back on that Saturday night. We were the only ones, right, that had it. And I want to thank David Sammartino, who was just, terrific on that. And in fact, that we were able to get that and tell everyone. And then you heard the firsthand account of exactly, what was going on with that night. But just in the middle of that was when, in fact, I received the text. And that's why I was saying that it has nothing to do. I didn't want that woman, who I won't reveal who it is. And I want you to understand, like, there's nothing, and Roberta knows this, and David knows this as well. There's nothing more important than, thank you, Lynn Miller, than not only my safety, but the people that I deal with. So folks, I'm going to let you in on something. Now, I've known about these two goons, Carbuncle Pond. Check DePietro.com. We had the victim first, and then I knew about Gary. I posted for the subscribers. I knew on March 2nd. And then we knew about, so ready for this? Some of you may remember, this is going to go back in March. One night I'm out, and then all of a sudden, I was at a crime scene, and I kind of cut off kind of quickly, okay? So these two guys were arrested tonight, or today. This jerk, he's already done time for murder. Michael Lambert. And Gary, this goon loser that killed her. Suspect accused. They work together. No one knows this. I'm going to have a posting on DePietro.com. They work together at a factory. That's how she met him. Motive for killing, I don't know. We may learn. That part I don't know. But there's more details. But this goon, these guys are dangerous. And for those of you who've been watching, look at this. March 2nd was the first time that I learned exactly who this individual was. And I'm not going to reveal how I found that out. But so one night when I was in Providence, my source who's watching says not to panic you, but I think this guy, I think he's there. And just so you know, he has been asking about you and your coverage of Carbuncle Pond. So folks, some may or may not remember. Now listen, he's a murderer. He's a murderer again. He'd be a murderer again, or at least accused of one. So with that, and you may not, and I obviously I didn't announce why we were leaving early. And then, I went back and looked at it. I don't know if it, hi there, Ann. She was pregnant. I've heard that's a possible motive, but I will be in court tomorrow. So we're going to have live coverage, Carbuncle Pond, tomorrow morning, sometime before 9:30, then inside the courtroom at 10, and then I'll do a recap after that. So, but, oh my God, Elizabeth Flynn. Now, folks, how many of you have been watching, and I mean it, I want to tell you with this, I am so relieved they finally got these guys. And I'm not going to get into too much detail, but it does make you paranoid. And the source that I was dealing with is, this was tough, because they're really dangerous, and they're killers. And then that's why, obviously, we had Mark driving me, and then I started going with the police. But many of you may recognize I didn't fully go back alone after, was that him at the crime scene? I'm not sure. I went back. I can't fully see it the way it pans. It looks like him, and they know that I was investigating the case. But many of you know, this is, the whole orange ski mask is one thing, right? But that's why, this is different. And someone I trust said, Juan, I'd be really cautious. And I was, right? I never gave out who they were. I never gave out the names. State police did a very thorough investigation. They have a lot of evidence. I'm going to give you who wants a blockbuster? I'll give you thank you, Lynn. Folks, that's a thank you, Ray Kelly. Ray Kelly, folks, he's a former police who I respect, and I respect his opinion. Hey, listen, I can't at the end, right? I can't impede an investigation. It can't be these people are hiding because I tipped off. And I know in the past I get heat from some people of like, you're withholding, I can tell you no more. Sometimes I can't say things. And other times, actually, it's in people, and I try to tell people that it's in their best interest if I don't even tell them things. So I know about that. You ready? I can't even see what the number is. We're at 207, 500 stars. I'm risking my life for 500 stars. No. There's David. Thank you, David. No, folks, I'll share with you. So you ready for this? Who wants a blockbuster? What number are we at? 202. All right, I was going to say 200, I'll tell you. Okay, ready? Who's ready? Let me see some here. Who's ready? I know, I'm telling you, Evelyn. Hi there, Samantha. Good evening. Hola, one and all. So, okay, ready? Who's ready for the blockbuster? It's terribly sad. Listen, she came to this country. She's working in a factory. This guy, Gary, is like all over her. He works there. I think he worked as a janitor. And the problem with a guy like that is, it's not like, all right, let's break up. I don't want to see you anymore. Then she's pregnant. So, but here's the blockbuster. Thank you, Ray. That no one knows. Folks, thumbs up for David Sammartino. We're these goons. So let's go back in December. And I admit, I spoke with a trooper that said, Juan, you were a little harsh with... I said, I'm just not used to, like, they wouldn't say anything. They just released the name of the victim. This Zero lives in Lincoln. How it all panned out. Michael Lambert, an associate. Murder conspiracy. So this goes back to, and also, how about the unborn child? That's what a nutcase this guy is. So it was December 21st at 2 a.m. These two goons show up. No one knows this. I mean, no one knows. I mean, police know it, but the Globe doesn't know it. Channel 10 doesn't know it. Do I have to go through the list? I've been holding on to this for the longest time. So you ready? At 2 a.m, this goon shows up at her apartment in Taunton. Gary, the bald-headed loser. And who's he with? His loser friend who did time at the ACI for murder. Why are these people out? Why are they out on the streets? So they show up. So at 2 a.m, they pick her up. But what these idiots don't know is there is an eyewitness, who I won't reveal who it is, who saw her, Leila, getting into the car with the two of them at 2 a.m. on December 21st in Taunton. No one knows this. Now you know it. But aside from us and the people that I've been dealing with, folks, this has actually been a burden. I mean, I've covered a lot of stories. This one has really been tough, simply because of the danger element. And the people that I was dealing with were petrified of these two, excuse my language, but total a-holes. They are. They are zeros. They contribute nothing. They are, life is better with them locked up. So poor Leila, pregnant by Gary, the Zero. God. Back in March, on a Saturday afternoon, I was with two people that have been sources on the story, and they were a wreck. And we were, I won't say where exactly, but we were in a coffee shop in East Providence, and they were both petrified, crying. So afraid. Hey, with good reason. These are dangerous people. So now, I want to give credit. Folks, thumbs up to the Rhode Island State Police. This was not an easy investigation. You also, remember, and the media hasn't picked up on this, so she was picked up in Brockton, but then murdered in Coventry. So this was the one, fishermen, they went and saw a woman's body, unidentified female, several lacerations, head, definitely suspicious to say the least. Not only was it a homicide, but she was pregnant. So then on December 27th, right after Christmas, I got the tip-off there was a missing woman in Brockton. So, folks, I have been working this case since December 27th. Actually, no, hold on. December 21st, right? I left the radio show early to go out to Coventry. Huh. And then, again, I'm not going to talk about all the people that I've talked to. This loser Gary, this is his words. I'm naturally violent. Don't let that love shit fool you. I've bitten flesh off faces, shot, stabbed MFers in daylight, knocked out the cops that came to arrest me. I go to jail, blank everybody up there, come home, do the same. I don't fear death or jail. I don't mind murking any MF. How do you stop a man like me? Well, they just got you, you zero. Oh my God. You know, they are, and you're talking about, these are two dangerous, useless individuals. And also, you know, part of this, I'm not going to, again, tell everyone everything, but they're friends. As you can imagine, right? Family and friends. Can you imagine who hangs out with these two? Biggest zero friends. I was trying to communicate with one of them. State Police. All right, I won't read that one. Folks, I want to go to, last night, that's why I was like, I got to go. I thought they were arresting them last night. That's where then I went to go check. They were getting them today. Again, it's in the heat of the moment. I get it. Everyone was then just, you know, walking on eggshells till these two creeps were in fact going to be grabbed. But I want to go back to, there it is. If you type in Carbuncle Pond, look at that, February 23rd, DePietro.com, Carbuncle Pond murder victim. That was the first time she was identified. Hey, listen, you know, she didn't know. She's from another country. She came here. She's supposedly a very nice individual. They're working in Brockton, and a bus would pick them up and bring them to a factory in Rhode Island. And then he was working as a janitor, but as a janitor there, excuse me. So Cabo Verde passed away. Oh God. For what? By the hand of those zeros. So upsetting, folks. This feels so terrible. Who talk about who killed her as she's pregnant and then just toss her in the pond. Just outrageous is what it is. So that is well, there's a lot more, right? There's a lot more. And Juan's been on kind of overdrive since, well, for some time, actually. You know, and I'll admit, all right, that's why, when people are saying, like, there was a serial killer loose, what? No. There's some guy that went on TikTok. He's a black dude. He's like, I don't know, there's a serial killer. Charlotte Lester missing. Woman found, Carbuncle Pond. Woman in Burrillville. The woman in Burrillville fell through the ice. Charlotte Lester, folks, by the way, thumbs up. I am still convinced that the Charlotte Lester case will be solved, and a week from tonight is the vigil in Warwick, and I'm going to ask you to join me there, and we'll be there. So, so glad they caught them. Do they know why they killed her? That is unknown yet, Shannon. That's an unknown. Now, they'll be in court tomorrow. We may learn motive. I don't know. But here's the thing. Do these two individuals really, it wasn't a robbery. Do they need, I mean, whenever people ask that, do we know why? No offense, but it never matches like Brian Walsh was like, on second thought, Anna Walsh, right, the wife in Cohasset, you know, on second thought, instead of you divorcing me and taking the boys to D.C., I think I'm going to kill you and collect $3 million in insurance money. I mean, there's never like a rational reason. Ray Kelly will tell you that. There's never a rational reason why these things are committed. And I'm not trying to pick on you. Do they know why they killed her? There's never like a real why. I mean, she may have, let's go through the reasons. She either A, was pregnant, B, she was trying to break up with him, C, it's possible she overheard some things. These guys, they don't respect life. Dawn wrote, I still can't understand how can you do that. Oh, I know, Dawn. Terrible. And then, let alone, she's carrying your child. But that's what a sick, demented loser he is. And we'll see. I don't know. Are his friends and family, are these zeros going to show up in court tomorrow? Gary was the father, David. I don't know. Well, the baby wasn't born yet. So Gary was going to be the father of the child. Yes, that is a beautiful picture. Thank you, Cynthia. Folks, next Tuesday night, Justice for Charlotte Lester Vigil. That's exactly right, Joe. They shouldn't have been out of prison. So, yeah. That's exactly right. That's loser Gary. The other one, though. That's exactly right, Crystal. Very good. She may have overheard something. And then, who knows? She could have been saying, thank you, Michelle. She could have been saying, oh, yeah, that's right, Evelyn. He can reproduce. She may have been saying, I think I'm going to go back and live in my country and raise the child there. Like, who knows? You're dealing with a maniac. That's exactly right, Melissa. 2-0. So I'm going to go to court tomorrow, as you know, because that's the only way we really find out what the hell is going on. I think we proved that in Coventry, right? With the fact, like, the Coventry situation of that nutcase, please, telling everyone to back up. The whole element about that is still, when you think about it, that if I had not put out that video, the rest of the media, like I'm telling you folks, I am fundamentally just completely against that. I don't get that whole thing. Like, why would you protect that loudmouth, no class, Channel 10, no, we're not going to release it. We're not going to do a story. We're not going to press charges against her. Like, why? Why? For what? God almighty, do everyone a favor. Please back up. Please back up. Oh, be quiet already. God, that lady. Unbelievable. Let me just pull that up quickly. So I will be in court. I'm going to be in court, Carbuncle Pond. But it's just another example. These people that spread, I don't know, maybe there's a serial killer. No, excuse me, there isn't a serial killer. Okay? We're very close with the Charlotte Lester case. No, it's not someone came, hey, anything's possible. No, I take exception with that. I'm going to talk about the injection centers in just a moment. Here we go. Here she is. Is the chief going to make a statement? Okay.
Can you please back up? I think we're at a good distance. We really won't bother you if you're over there. I understand. It is bothering me. It is really bothering me. It's bothering everybody. Can you please back up? Everybody has been respectful to not come over. We've already talked to him. I'm asking you nicely to back up.
We've already talked to him. We've already threatened the Channel 10 photographer. Folks, I still feel bad for those blue leggings fighting for their lives. That's unfair to do to fabric. That is the battle of the bulge right there. Definition of trailer park blanking white tee. Wow. That should be a picture of her in the dictionary on the white trash. What a loudmouth. Please. Can you imagine being in a meeting with that individual? Or like a parent meeting?
Hey, officer. Look at this.
Good thing I woke up the Coventry police.
Yeah. What is this? Hey.
Hey. What are you, Fonzie? trash. Go have a camel, lady. Watch your language. On the front lawn of someone else's house. Arrest her now. I may still press charges. I may press charges what she did to those cans. All right. Enough of that foolishness. Goodness. What a loudmouth. Hey, Sally, why don't you borrow a buck and go buy yourself some class? There we go. All right. What a 24 hours. Folks, hold on. What a 24 hours. Justice for Charlotte is exactly right. Now, when there is an arrest made in the Charlotte Lester case, and there will be, with that, I will feel, I'll be happy for the family and Kathy and everyone, simply because then, with everything that has transpired. But with this particular, yeah, that's right. Honey can't buy her. Borrow a buck and go buy some class. But with this, the Carbuncle Pond, I will tell you guys, I am actually relieved. Especially because, as I was, thank you, Evelyn. Hey, Juan's word, there's the whole thing of like the vault, and we take it to the great. And when I want you to understand, like when I'm sitting across from someone and I'd like to meet with them in person, and I tell them, you have my word, I will not say anything. Folks, it's got to mean something, right? Just like in Jerry Maguire, my word is oak. It's got to mean something. And conversely, I expect the same. Someone said to me recently, I can't wait till the case is over. You can tell us who your sources are. I'm like, no, that never expires. There's no statute of limitations on sources. I still keep sources that I got during Planet Home. No. Listen, it's the ultimate, what's your word worth? And when I am there, and this is not like a joking matter. This is truly life and death. These individuals, they wouldn't think twice about taking somebody out. And they're strapped, right? They got weapons. So that night, I'll have to go back and find out which one it was. And I know some people are like, what happened? One suddenly signed off. I mean, this source, who, again, is terrific. And you get to know them, right? Because then there's like a trust, and they're not supposed to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. One thing, because of the media, I do enjoy a press shield. So I'm not required to give away sources and things like that. So it's like being an attorney in some ways. So the positive element of that is then they feel free that they can, talk about various things that happen. And that's big. But this is tough. These are dangerous people. This is someone, it's my understanding, she just, obviously I never met her or anything. I mean, she's from Cape Verde. She was living in Brockton. They want to come to America, work in a factory, the American janitor, hitting on her and so forth. I think it's like a lot of, unfortunately, domestic abuse cases where then the individual doesn't know how to get out of the situation that they have found themselves in. Thank you for the stars tonight, folks. I just saw that, by the way. Very, very generous from everybody as we continue on our way. But it's difficult. And much like, I'm not going to talk, I know more about the Coventry murder-suicide, the accidental shooting that nutcase was at. But they have at least, I believe, one son that lives in the state. Listen, I know more about it, but I'm just not going to say anything. There's no point. It's frightening that someone goes down that path and thinks like that is the solution. Although that one's really puzzling because, okay, for whatever reason, you don't want to live anymore, but, right, the wife and the dogs? I mean, how about, like, can we take a vote here? Like, what? I don't know. Folks, again. Now, the injection center. It is true, it was discussed on Fox News how Rhode Island's going to have them. I have been talking about this longer than anyone. There are some people, not really, that try to talk about it, but they try to talk about it in a way that it's going to be a constructive thing. And it's a compassionate thing, right? To test someone's heroin and coke before they're going to do it. And then that way, like, you're saving... No, you're not saving lives. And I cannot believe... And I reached out to this woman. I was talking about this on the radio show. I don't believe all these people... We have a drug problem, not only in the country, but also certainly in our state. And it's getting worse. Governor McKee's, his legacy will be the drug governor. It's obviously not been a good idea with the crowd that we have here between Westland and Woonsocket to suddenly put cannabis everywhere, right? You have, and it's a lot of these young guys. They're in their 20s, their 30s, unmarried, no job. They start to get lazy, probably could shed 20, 25 pounds. Now they're just into, what, video games, fantasy football. They're boning up. But these injection centers, you're not going to want to... I know everyone's talking about the video on Facebook of that lady on the UPS truck. By the way, it is encouraging, and I'm going to tell you why. So this is brand new, thumbs up for Sal. Folks, we're going to have this merchandise. This is, how about that for an ornament? The lady on the UPS. So I'm going to have that on as a hood ornament. Thumbs up if you like the idea of it. And then we're going to make these, and then you could have that for your Christmas display. My little town. There's the woman on the UPS truck. Folks, thumbs up for Sal. Is there anyone more brilliant than Sal on DePietro.com? I mean, the guy is just hilarious. But no, it's going to get real bad. And, I'll admit that I worked at the living room for 3 years. And because of the bands and the nature and the rock and roll crowd that comes through, there were drugs, and there were people doing drugs, right? So, but what kept me away from that crowd was, number one, youngest of a very tight, wonderful family. I'm youngest of 7. I would never have done something like that would have, harmed or hurt my parents in any way. But in honesty, there was that. But it was also mixed with paranoia. I don't know. What is it going to do to you? There was definitely a fear of that. I never smoked cigarettes. I mean, I tried a cigarette. I didn't like it for whatever reason. I wasn't big on weed or anything like that. And then the people that I knew, because there were a lot of people that were doing blow around the club, and they all were too wigged out. So my point is, when you lift that stigma, oh no, Governor McKee, no, you can, we're going to test it. You can live a very happy, healthy life with a heroin addiction. We're going to test the stuff to make sure you don't OD. How is that helping anyone? You're lifting the deterrent. How many times have you known someone where they have a drink and someone's like, isn't it a little early for that? Or, people that wait for 5 o'clock and the whole thing. You're fostering this. You're going to have, and let's roll through, right? Me and Ladybug, we show up at the center and we have our smack, and we're going to, go off on a binge like that lady on the UPS truck. So, but we it's one thing we're going to have a lost weekend and we're going to have a party. Like if you watch Breaking Bad with Jesse and some of his, there's a guy in a business suit sitting in the middle of the living room eating a pizza in his underwear. He's been there for 2-3 days. Well, we want to make sure we're not going to die from it, but okay, they test it. Good news. It's clean. So what are we going to do? Okay, thank you. No, then they're going to do it. So I am at a loss. We're going to give you clean needles. We're going to test your stuff. You are absolutely encouraging. You're encouraging, and these are illicit drugs. But the point I wanted to You missed it, Lori? I have it on the page, Lori. Anyone that doesn't know what I'm talking about, the lady in the UPS truck, the video's there. This woman, I'm going to guess it was like a meth, just exploded on meth. And she literally jumped up on a UPS thing. I could show it. So, that's right. But folks, there's Coventry Police. By the way, thumbs up, Coventry Police. Excellent job with them as well, with the Carbuncle Pond thing, with the state police. And Coventry Police did a great job as well. That was a very difficult case with the situation with the husband, the wife, and the 2 dogs. So, but the safe injection centers, I have a problem with the name. Because I don't think they are safe injection centers. For Governor McKee, we're not encouraging people to do drugs. You're going to test it. You're going to make sure that it's pure. You're going to have junkies moving here, like you. And by the way, they're not going to arrest anyone for having these drugs. They're not going to arrest anyone. That's the part Governor McKee, folks. The damage he is doing, the damage that this governor is doing to this state. I'm not kidding when I say it could be irreversible. Because look at, think of San Francisco, LA, Portland, Seattle, where someone said, do you think it's a good idea we let them pitch those tents? And the other person said, I think it's fine. Then look what happened. Then there's no going back. Can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. Governor McKee, first of all, right now in Rhode Island, schizophrenia, young people off the charts because of all the cannabis, depression, young people through the roof, they believe due to cannabis, bipolar disorders through the roof, they believe because of cannabis. That's just with weed. Do you understand? That's Checkers. A safe injection center. Like, I could never. Here's the problem, and I know a lot about this by covering it, but, when you think of, like, Keith Richards, let's think of famous junkies, right? Jimi Hendrix, Keith Richards, I think maybe even John Lennon. But they, that's another level when you're in John Belushi injecting speedballs into the vein. Coke and heroin mixed. But keep in mind with this stuff, you don't have to inject it anymore. You can snort heroin. They smoke it. I mean, it's mind-blowing what's going on. And the border is wide open. But Governor McKee, what I find just so insulting is he tries to do it under the guise of like he's helping people. Right? That's like the old joke about Vietnam. Well, the only way to save the village is to burn it down. So the way to make things safer is to have safe injection centers. Gee, who would want to live near a safe injection center? Maybe the people that like to live near the liquor store. I've interviewed people that have had serious drug problems. They said, why I was passed out on the bench? I don't want to go back to my apartment wherever and take the bus. I wanted to be close so when the drugs wore off, I could readily get it. So, gee, who would want to live and move into an area? Number one, and this is the part that no one is talking about in the media, except for the chosen one. That means they're not going to arrest the people anymore. So what Governor McKee is actually doing, I am telling you right now, I mean, I know a lot of people didn't like Raimondo, but McKee is just another level of just atrociousness. He is so bad. And he's not up for the job. But you're going to be talking about, think of the high school kid that says, hey, I got some meth. And then his friends say, gee, I don't know. My parents tell me not to do stuff like that. And what if it has fentanyl? I don't want to die. And then what would the person say? Let's do this. Let's ride over to the injection center. They'll test it for us. Then we can do it. Oh, okay. Think the kids at Johnson Wales, Brown, RISD. Somebody's like, hey, right now, somebody be like, hey, graduation's coming. I got an 8-ball, right? Let's do some blow to celebrate. A good out is, gee, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it could be sprinkled with fentanyl. Good news, I went to the McKee Safe Injection Center. Look, they stamped it. They tested. The coke is fine. Folks, there's nothing fine about doing coke. This is embarrassing. Yeah, that's right. The governor who lived his mother. So, so much news. That's right. That's what it's all about, Joanne. I wouldn't be surprised if he's even, come on. I mean, what do you think the guy can't be? This is Rhode Island we're talking about. What, is he oblivious to a bribe? Give me a break. Stop. Are you kidding me? All right, we covered Carbuncle Pond. Week from tonight, Charlotte Lester Vigil. Friday night, Cranston PD Live. We'll be back out. Tomorrow night, Thursday night, I think I do want to watch this Trump CNN town hall. And yes, Tucker Carlson's going to be on Twitter. I don't know what that's going to be like. I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think it's different. I thought he might do something like that. Maybe that's his first platform. I don't know. Notice I knew he was not going to Newsmax or News Nation. I just knew that wasn't happening. Or maybe they'll carry part of his show. I mean, I don't know. So, but good. It'll be good to have him in the mix with the conversation. Now, so tomorrow night, I believe we will be out. First one on the scene. And I want to thank David Sammartino, who's so good. Folks, also last night, in case I received a message from someone said, I don't understand. I was watching Channel 12, and they don't have any video of the North Kingstown, the police standoff. And I said, yeah, I know that. I was the only one there. Same thing with the Warwick situation. But I want to be really clear for those that are wondering. Last night, I saw even Coogie. Somebody sent Coogie a message. What happened? He didn't come back. Now you know. It was related to Carbuncle Pond. So, and again, I just knew something was going down. I actually thought it was going to be last night. Obviously, they got word that they were going to be arrested today. Maybe they did grab them last night. I'm not fully sure yet. We'll learn more in court tomorrow. Oh, yeah, big time. And I don't see anyone, something else that's, thank you, Joanne, you're right. What Gov scheduled for Wednesday? The governor? Tomorrow night, I have something in mind, but I want to confirm with our special guest. Thank you, Ray Kelly. This was a tough one, folks. I mean it. I am really relieved. They're dangerous. They're killers. Right? I mean, there's two categories. Ray will tell you. There's a killer and there's a non-killer. Many of you may remember there was another situation. It's different when you're dealing with someone, and Ray will tell you this. It's different when you're dealing with someone who's already taken a life. Because when you do, study and they interview, you watch specials on they've killed multiple people, serial killers. It's like once they get the first one out of the way, 2, 3, 4, 5 come pretty quickly. So, as many of you know, enough said, sometime last year, Juan was face-to-face with someone who we believe fits that description, but we're going to leave it there. But I will tell you, admittedly, right, I'm not trying to be Rambo here, it is intimidating. It's intimidating when you have, like, a killer after you. It is. Maybe, I don't know if that sounds odd. I mean, as many of you know, safety is always important, but I deal with a lot of threats and so forth. It's unfortunate. I view it as just like part of it, but then you just have to work around it. But it is different when you're dealing with someone who has actually done it and would do it again. It's a different deal. It is. And the police understand that. Thank you, Lord. I don't think so. But he is. Yeah. Well, we'll see. There's Ryan. Remember, when your appliance is dying, just call Ryan. Oh, thank God. I'm telling you, Melissa, this is insanity. Why are these people out of jail? They've killed. Whatever happened to life in prison? Oh, my God. And I have another situation I'm dealing with that I'm not going to worry you or bore you with. Folks, if I told you some of the stuff that is going on out there or behind the scenes, then I don't think I think most of, well, not everybody, but some of you would say, all right, you can't go out anymore. But we have to, because the show's never been more popular, and this platform has never been more popular. And we are winning. But we got a big one coming with the Charlotte Lester case. We do. All right, now, here's the drill. Montana. Thank you, Roberta. You're getting close, Jen. I can't say. Melissa, you have no idea. It's so brutal. Ridiculous. The inmates are running the asylum. Thank you, Robin. This one was a tough one. It was. Thank you, Jane. You know, I enjoy it, folks. And you guys are terrific, right? I mean, I think we have a really good thing going here. It's new content every day. Certainly don't mind getting out there. Oh, wow. And I also, you know, someone gave me a hard time because I didn't identify who was the woman from Warwick last night. Hey, listen, she had her car stolen. 4 armed black males with ski masks stole out of her driveway. They found her car with guns and drugs. Her story, I know exactly who she is. Her story lines up. She'll do the interview once they arrest them, but I'm not putting her in jeopardy. What are you kidding me? This day and age? And they have access to a weapon? No. For what? Oh, gee, I'm sorry. You know, I was expecting you. I'll have to check the email. I was expecting you to have her. Well, you know, gee. And then what happens if, they were able to identify her because they saw her on with Juan after dark. I'm not carrying that around. No. It's not worth it. All right, it's Wednesday night. Yes. That's right. You know, the people still do blow. You know, a lot of people stopped doing it because it's dangerous, because fentanyl can get sprinkled in. But now, here comes McKee. Boy, the drug dealers are going to love him. Business is going to be up. Come to Rhode Island. We have clean blow, clean smack, clean heroin. Boom, you're good to go. Opioid, first rate, blue meth. Come into Rhode Island. I mean, it's absolutely disgraceful. You know, my folks, rest in peace. They would not recognize this hellhole that McKee's leading us into. All right. Yes, that's right, David. That's exactly right. It is sad, Nicole. All right, folks, here's what we're going to do. It's only 8:04, right? So that means live stream season is here. We're good to go. Please subscribe to the page if you're not. Tomorrow night, we're going to plan something a little more fun and entertaining. Friday night with Cranston. Saturday night, I don't know if we'll be with the police, but obviously, listen, I'm good to go, right? I'm on duty. We have fixed a lot of the equipment. But now you guys know, I will say this, one last final thing. The carbuncle pond, it was distracting. It was distracting. And knowing they were out there. And when one of the people that I talked to said one of them was asking, you know, and mentioned me specifically. Yeah, that was alarming. And then showing up at one of my live streams at a crime scene. Yeah, you know, that was definitely distracting. So, much like I told you, you know, the Lester thing, Charlotte Lester case makes more sense because so much of it centers around the mattress. And I broke the story for the mattress regarding that. So, folks, and I want to, one more thing. I want you to know, and I'm just being honest, and I think Ray can appreciate this, but, you know, there's many times I don't know, right? Like, I don't, it's hard to describe. It's like a puzzle, and you could have a really important piece, but until the puzzle is complete, you don't know what an important piece of the puzzle you have. So now, the other side knows that you found a piece of the puzzle. But, so I'm not trying to, like, you sometimes stumble into things. The mattress was a good example of that. And then, there's a lot of that. All right, so anyhow, never mind, Jen. You're going to have to go back and watch, then you can just put replay. All right, folks, Tuesday night, where I am on call, should anything happen. And we may be back but I'm not planning on it unless something warrants it, for On the Scene live stream. Again, yesterday, North Kingstown, only one On the Scene live stream. Not just first one On the Scene live stream. only Juan on the scene live stream. All right, Tuesday night. Thank you, everybody.